Could Liverpool sign Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak in the same transfer window? It would be audacious. It would be adventurous. It would be one of the most ambitious transfer windows of a major club I can think of. We think about Frimpong coming in, Kerkez, a British record transfer for Florian Wirtz, and then you're talking Isak and Hugo Ekitike, two of the most promising number 9s in world football, joining Liverpool in the same window. It would be preposterous, but it's also very possible. If you look at multiple reports today about Liverpool's financial situation, they could blow this kind of money and it doesn't hurt them in terms of PSR. It's an outstanding position to be in if you're Liverpool Football Club's owners. FSG, whatever you say about them, they took a big gamble last summer not spending much money. And it paid off because winning the Premier League, getting into the knockout stage of the Champions League is all good for PSR. They made a lot of money from what they did last season. Obviously going far in the League Cup as well, getting to the League Cup final. Lots of TV revenue and of course, lots of player sales as well. We're going to focus on Ekitike in this video more than Isak. I talked about Isak yesterday on the channel. And let's be completely real, we don't need to go over it again. If you can sign only one, which is probably the most likely thing to happen out of both, you'd obviously sign Isak right now. Only a couple of years older than Hugo Ekitike, of course. But I actually think there's a world where if you sign Hugo Ekitike, it's not a massive drop-off. It's really not. He's a couple of years younger. He's obviously not Premier League proven. That is the drop-off in terms of quality at the moment. But if you look at his finishing, you look at what he brings to the table, he's actually a very similar profile player to Alexander Isak. And that's what I'm saying for Liverpool, because working with someone that's a little bit younger, working with someone that could link with Wirtz, link with Salah, and be a little bit more, maybe less needing to be the marquee signing, especially if he's a little bit cheaper as well. I actually think it would still be a very competitive signing. It wouldn't feel like much of a downgrade on Alexander Isak. And again, you look at the reports today, there's a chance that both come. It'd be absolutely mental. Do you think both could come and join Liverpool this summer? Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Would really appreciate it. Bild have come out today and said that Liverpool are touting a move for both players at the same time. I think Newcastle fans would be calling up TalkSport 24/7, complaining if that happened. It would be outrageous. It would be audacious. But I've seen a tweet from Dave Powell, who does a lot of reporting on the financials of football clubs. Really interesting stuff. And ultimately, we do live in the world of PSR. I think it's boring. I think it does enable bigger clubs who are successful, justifiably so, like Liverpool, to be a little bit more cheeky when it comes to these kind of dealings. And the fact that Aston Villa, Newcastle United can't be as competitive. This is the world we live in, whether we like it or not, for the moment. And he reports that basically, with the PSR position of Liverpool, based on a £20 million profit. Obviously, they didn't buy anyone last summer, and they keep selling players. I mean, Kelleher costs a load of money for Brentford. It's going to go on and on this summer as well, particularly if Nunes leaves, particularly if Diaz leaves, of course. Based on that, the £105 PSR limit, Liverpool could still lose more than £200 million in the 25-26 season and be PSR compliant, so they can blow £200 million. So you could get Isak for 125, 130, and Ekitike for 75, 70 million. Sell Diaz and go a little bit further. Could get someone like Gahey as well for £65 million, which is the reported ask from Crystal Palace. So from that perspective, Liverpool are in a highly competitive situation where they can actually splash big boy money and not catch themselves out. They'd have to sell the women's club to themselves. They'd have to sell themselves a hotel. They'd have to play Monopoly with the football club. They can just go big with big, audacious transfers. It's very, very exciting if you're a Liverpool fan. Let's talk about Hugo Ekitike. Firstly, if you can only get one, financially speaking, it's not a bad option to go for Ekitike, because you're looking at, 75, 80 million pounds. The way that his former teammate Omar Mamouche has landed at Man City, I dare say, is a testament that actually what Frankfurt have done in the last couple of seasons, including the fact that Newcastle tried to sign Hugo Ekitike many years ago when he was a little bit younger. But since then, he's blossomed. His numbers have absolutely improved. 22 goals, 12 assists last season. He's only got 26 goals and 14 assists for Frankfurt in general. So we're talking about a player that was mega young when he first came onto the scene for Eintracht Frankfurt, and he's blossomed. Last season, he was getting big boy numbers. And look at the range of finishing that he was showing for Frankfurt. Big finishes, instinctive finishes, two-footed, right foot, left foot. He can carry the ball with pace, and he's good in the air. So we're talking about Liverpool signing someone that is replacing the big goals that we all thought Darwin Núñez was going to end up scoring and never quite did. I think about that Villa miss last season where things could have been a little bit easier for Liverpool at certain points in terms of scoring those easy goals when you're dominating a game. And Hugo Ekitike is the kind of guy that's going to score. If he came in right now, I think he'd score 20 league goals in the Premier League. The Lawnmower 5.0 from Manscaped is now available across the UK. And if you type in Buvey onto their website, you get a massive 15% off. It's in a brand new colorway. It's the white hot colorway from Manscaped. And ultimately, their technology is absolutely outstanding. It's so much better than some of these cheap trimmers. Manscaped give you skin-safe technology. It glides over your skin. It causes far less irritation, far less redness. It allows you to do your grooming super quick, super efficient, in and out. And you can look good doing it. The blades are absolutely outstanding compared to those cheap trimmers. This one is smooth, it's seamless, it's an outstanding performance, it's durable as well, and it feels so good in your hand. It looks good as well, the design. White and gold, perfect for the summer. It's simple, effective. For whatever kind of daily routine you've got, the Lawnmower 5.0 in white hot will fit into your schedule. You think about where Hugo Ekitike is in his career as well, 23 years old. He's at that kind of strange position where you're mega young as a person, of course, but you're creeping into your prime years as a forward. I think we all think is 27, 28, and Liverpool have got a great record of signing these players that are on the cusp of their prime. You think about Mane, Van Dijk coming from Southampton, same with Alisson as well, Andy Robertson from Hull City. These guys weren't spring chickens. They were at the bottom age of the kind of 20s, at the start of their 20s, and Hugo Ekitike is in a similar place as well. We have to be real. The goals that obviously Diogo Jota used to score season in, season out, have to be replaced. If Diaz wants to move, it looks like he's really keen to move for whatever reason. We can probably discuss that in a separate video. Ultimately, Diaz wants to move. I think Núñez wants to move and get a fresh start. I think that's justified. Suddenly, you're looking at Salah on one side. Harvey Elliott, I don't really class as a forward. Chiesa, I think, should be going as well. Suddenly, you're looking at Gakpo, Salah, Wirtz, if you consider him a forward. There is actually space for a few more options. And if that's Isak and Ekitike, again, we're talking about a generational transfer window, the likes of which we've not seen since what? I mean, obviously, look, Man City spent a load of money with Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker, all in the same transfer window. Maybe Jose Mourinho when he signed Crespo and all these big guys, Makelele, I think it was, all in the same transfer window back in 2004 or 5. It will be like that, but it wouldn't feel egregious. It would feel like it's within the capacity of one of the big football clubs in Europe, just actually stretching their muscles, what they can do financially and having a go. And there is a world where both come. I'm not saying it's lightly, but actually Ekitike, from what I've seen, the mobility, the flexibility that he's got, the kind of instinctive finisher that he is, I think he'd be a fantastic player. And also another thing, Isak, very expensive. You're adding 50, 60 million pound premium on top of Ekitike's kind of price, potentially. But also you're looking at maybe injury record for Isak. One little thing, he's always got a little knock on him. It changes. When you play for a big club, you can get rotated a lot more. With Newcastle United, they need him to play every single game. But with Ekitike, you don't necessarily have those injury fears in the same way as well. And that would be interesting. A different approach, having someone that's a little bit younger, that could be a little bit more moldable. Again, Wirtz, he's a big name. He's come to Liverpool thinking he'll be the main man at Liverpool when Salah goes. Isak, Wirtz, both coming in the same window. Big egos, £250 million for both in the same window. There is an element of that not being the best in terms of PR, in terms of maybe the wage demands of Isak. Hugo Ekitike, for me, would be a reasonable transfer and someone that could grow into a world-class forward quite easily. It's very, very scary times, particularly if you're a Man United fan, particularly if you're a rival, an Arsenal or a Man City fan. These guys are making big moves. And the fact that Bild have come out and reported that they could go for both, I think is a clear indication that Liverpool are making ambitious moves in the transfer market. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think both will join Liverpool? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you very, very soon.